Hey everybody, Mark Vogt with VOGTLAND Outdoors. A couple of tips before the season starts. Here it is, late fall 2018, miserable weather. So tip number one that I'm going to offer all of you, just ordinary guys that go out hunting, go out and practice in the miserable weather like today. It's about 45 degrees, windy, rainy, miserable weather. Because I guarantee you the vast majority of the real opportunities you're going to get to shoot are going to have something to do with miserable weather. It's not going to be on a nice day. So you may as well get used to being miserable when you're about to shoot. The next thing I want to talk about is this. When you come up to an archery range and you're about to practice, it's the first shot that actually matters the most. It's going to be the closest thing that you have to real life. So make it count. Don't get up and just start whack, 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 thwack, 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 thwacking the targets left and right, and then think you're going to practice what it's like to shoot when you're up in a stand. When you're up in a stand, 4 hours have gone by, you're freezing cold, you can't feel your toes anymore. That's when the deer wake up and start moving. It's when you're that cold, that miserable, that the real shot actually comes. So here it is, my very first shot of the day. 20-yard targets over there. You're going to see me go again through the VOGTLAND archery method. Remember, there's 4 steps. You're going to use string walking to pick the distance. In this case, 20 yards is going to be 2.5 fingers for me. A 2.5 finger gap. I'm going to draw back underneath my chin. I'm going to look down the left side of the string and put the tip of the arrow right on the target. Now what's cool about this technique that I want you to see when I show you one more time is this. At those kinds of distances, 20 meters or 20 yards up to 30 yards, I'm actually got a gap about this big, that this is where my chin is, and I am literally looking right down the arrow. If I put the tip of the arrow on the target, I see the entire shaft of the arrow helping me line up on that target. The VOGTLAND shooting technique is a very, very solid technique for guaranteeing you get a good line on deer. Watch how close. Watch how I get to look right down the arrow itself. It's hard to miss, so let's go through this. I'm going to stand right here and hope that you can see me. I'm going to pick my gap, draw back under my chin, look down the left side of the string, put the tip of the arrow on the target, try to make as smooth a release as possible with my hand still under my chin. Smooth as release, no twanging. And I got to make the first one count. So take your time. Hold the tip of the arrow on that deer. Make it count and look for the dark part of the target. Me, I'm going to go for the middle of that black line. Pretty damn good shot. I'm going home with that deer. The first one matters the most. It's the most like reality. The next one that I want to talk to you guys about is this. A lot of times, the more you turn to the right in the stand, the weaker your draw becomes. So you want to make sure you actually practice that, shooting to your right side where you're the weakest, and knowing that you're going to be weak when you're taking that shot. So in this one, I'm going to turn like I'm shooting off in this distance, and then I'm going to rotate my body 45 degrees and aim for that little brown mark in the middle of the target. Picking my gap, drawing underneath my chin, turning my body. I feel weak. So put it out of your head, look down the left side of the string, put the tip of the arrow on the target. 2 inches under, still going home with the deer. The next little tip that I want to give you is this, and this is the mistake everybody makes. Don't shoot at white targets, don't shoot at orange dots, don't shoot at anything bright sitting on your targets at the archery range. Why? Because there's no dots out there, guys. There's no dots on deers. There's no white paper on deers. All you're going to do is develop some kind of target panic. When you see that dot, you're going to want to flinch. As soon as the arrow comes around, let me show you what that looks like. If you've ever experienced it, when you're at a full draw and you're coming up on the target and you bring it up like this, you're going to twitch. You're going to twitch. You're going to go up. Most of the time, you're going to go to the side. You're going to develop that anticipation, that shot, that target panic by shooting at those dots. To get rid of them, learn to look at that spot right here on the deer on the very front. Imagine that. Shoot at black targets here, where you have to really imagine where the target is, and you'll find that you're going to be a lot quieter. You're going to be a lot more confident. Let's do a couple more shots. That one's almost dead nuts, right smack on the other one. And we'll do one more and then call it quits. Pick my gap. Step one. Step two, draw under my chin, anchoring my hand under my chin. This is what my release mechanism looks like, not this. This is what it looks like. Step three, look down the left side of the arrow, of the string rather, with my right eye, with my dominant eye, put the tip of the arrow on the target. And hold it if you want. Pretend you're out in the woods there. Oh, nailed it. Let's go look at those targets. Yeah, about 20, 25 yards. There's the first two. Mark's going home with the deer. Let's go look at the next two. Still going home with the deer at 25 yards. Nobody's going to be complaining. Hope you guys enjoyed all the tips that I threw in today's video. One, go out and practice when it's miserable out, because that's when the shot's going to happen. It's going to happen when your hand is cold and stiff. It's going to happen when your muscles are weak and you feel like you can't even draw. That's when you got to focus. That's when you got to get your head into that particular shot. Make that very first shot of your day count. Don't aim. Don't put silly little bright dots on your targets, because that's not what the deer look like. And when you're using the VOGTLAND shooting technique, realize that at short ranges, 20 to 30 yards, which is where the vast majority of you're going to take your deer, the way that you're anchoring, you are literally looking right down the entire length of the arrow, where you're literally putting the tip right smack on where that deer is going to go. You're going to get a great shot off. That's it. Talk to you guys later.